What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Roots of Success podcast. I am your host, Nate the Great, coming at you. And today we have a very special guest. If you don't know who this man is, you must be living under a rock, okay? Sam Bakhtiar, how are you doing today, brother?
Thanks, Nate. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely, man. I was telling Sam, guys, whenever I came into his place, he has me over at his place, and I'm just so grateful for it because it really gets somebody like myself, Sam, and a realization to see like, wow, this is possible,
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, man. It was other people who paved the way for me as well. When I was up and coming like you were, I go to their house and I go see their stuff, and it just inspires you. That's why I wanted you to come here, get inspired. It's not about anything other than becoming, getting inspired and now get motivated and go back and crush it.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Of course.
For real. And for those of you who might not know who Sam is, I'll read a little bio off about you. Sam Bakhtiar is a doctor, CEO, author, world-class bodybuilder, and multi-millionaire entrepreneur. He runs a fitness franchising business, the Camp Transformation Center, with 110 locations and 2 different supplement and nutrition companies. With a bachelor's degree from Pennsylvania State University. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's literally 2 hours away from me, Penn State.
Really? Nice.
Where I'm from. From Pennsylvania State University in sports science and life science, and a doctorate from Los Angeles College of Chiropractic. Dr. Bakhtiar has helped over 100,000 people transform physically and mentally. He specializes in helping people get to the top 1% in any and every aspect of their life. Dr. Bakhtiar applies his business acumen and coaching to the 1% Club, helping others to become a 1%er by rising above. He's also the author of the popular books, The Total Body Transformation Secrets, and Becoming a 1%er. So Sam, my goodness, you have quite the milestones.
Wow, bro, man, that was a long introduction, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, there's another one. I can keep going. I'm kidding. But Sam, typically for the guests that I have on the show, I like to have them really talk about their upbringing, the lifestyle that they had growing up. Because of course, I feel as if a lot of people, they get a little confused, as if, and what I mean by that is they just look at the pinnacle of somebody's success.
Yeah.
So I would love for you to kind of go over a little bit about your upbringing, especially the Penn State thing. Because for myself, I'm just like, that's literally so close to home. So kind of go over how you were brought up.
A little history. I'm a Persian American. We fled Iran when Saddam Hussein was attacking us. I was 11 years old, and we flew. We came to the United States as refugees of war. And when I was coming to the United States, I was thinking that I was going to go to Beverly Hills because that's what I saw on TV. I thought everybody had Cadillacs and mansions and swimming pools and houses like this. I mean, that's what they show on TV. But I had a rude awakening when my uncle picked us up at the Pittsburgh airport and took us to his little convenience store in Sharon, Pennsylvania, which was in the middle of the worst neighborhood to this date. I don't know too many neighborhoods worse than that. And it was brick roads in the neighborhood. It was outside. There was pimps, prostitutes, and drug dealers, run-down steel mills, abandoned buildings, and that was my first impression of America. I'm like, what the hell did I get myself into? So I grew up, in Sharon, Pennsylvania. I went to school. I was the only minority in the whole entire school.
I believe it.
Talking about getting bullied, picked on, called names, you name it, I've been through it. One of the worst things was, I was a star soccer player back in Iran. I played since I was 3 years old. So when I came to Sharon, Pennsylvania in 1985, I said, I want to play football. They're like, football? I'm like, no, football.
Yeah.
They're like, no, that's called soccer. We don't have a soccer team. So I was devastated. New country, don't speak a language. I don't have any friends. I'm getting picked on. I'm getting bullied. I'm getting beat up. And now they're like, we don't have your favorite team. I'm like lost. I'm like lost. I couldn't. Football, real football was like, was my blood. It was everything. So when I came, I tried out for the basketball team. I didn't make it. I got cut from the basketball team.
Okay.
So I was so devastated. I went back home and told my mom, Mom, I don't want to live here anymore. I want to go back home. You know, this country sucks. You know, the victim mentality. Mom said, we don't have that option. Why don't you go to the boys club after school, you know, practice every day and get better and try out next year. So as I was going to get practicing for basketball, you know, I fell in love with weightlifting. And not only what it did for me on a physical sense, but also what it did to me in a mental sense, you know, feeling accomplished, you know, overcoming soreness, overcoming weights, being able to slowly but surely work your way up in the weight and getting stronger. So when I knew that I could lift heavier and heavier weights, I knew I could do anything.
Mm. Man, that's powerful. Especially, it's funny, you know, you mentioned the soccer thing because, yeah, I played soccer for 14 years and I was a goalkeeper, and I love that position because you're always on your toes.
Yeah.
You're the leader of the team, you know. But and then with you getting bullied, I mean it seems as if there's some kind of because I mean you get trauma from that. You know?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I got bullied. I got beat up. I was literally beat up. I got whooped by a girl. Yeah,
By a
yeah,
woman?
yeah. I was in like 7th grade. You know, I was a scrawny little kid or whatever, and there was this like 11th grade girl or whatever, like 10th grade girl or whatever. I don't know. You know, she said something. I said something. She just grabbed me and just threw me across the room. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's kind of like hostile environment that you know I was brought up in and things like that. But you know, when I look back at everything, I wouldn't trade it for the whole world.
Mm.
I wouldn't trade it. I would not be where I am today without all the trauma. So I welcome trauma.
Wow, that's so true. And a lot of people they feel as if trauma is like some bad negative thing. You know, like it sucks that it happens at first, but then
You know, you won't build character without trauma.
mm,
You know, you won't be able to build resiliency without trauma. You wouldn't be able to really know what you're made out of without trauma. You know, and if you had a life, you know, you were just brought up and everything was given to you, you had a comfortable couch and everything was always comfort and you never had to go through it, that's not life. That's not life. You know, life is all about learning. Life is all about becoming. Life is all about forward progression through experiences. And if you think that every experience in your life is going to be positive, then you're not in the real world. You don't live it. You might as well just go live in Disneyland.
wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate a lot because being from a small town in Pennsylvania,
What's the name of your town?
Chambersburg.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard
I
of it.
haven't heard that one.
You
No.
hear Shippensburg?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
right around there.
That's around there?
Yeah, Central PA. They got the. I say every time, Sam. You know, you got the horses and buggies and the Amish.
Oh,
go
yeah.
there.
Yeah. I worked
You
at a
know?
cheese factory with Amish and stuff like
You
that.
worked at Sheets?
I worked at a cheese factory.
Oh, cheese factory.
I know
Okay.
what Sheets is, a gas station,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, we know. I know exactly what you're talking about. No, I never worked at Sheets, but
Okay.
but there was a cheese factory
Mm.
in New Wilmington, PA, with all the Amish and things like that.
Yeah.
So I worked there, and is what you through Interstate 80,
81.
81.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, I took that a lot, and it's just great, you know, coming from like a small town like that, because I've only been out here 2 months, you know, and you know, being around the, you know, these kinds of environments, and then you know, driving as much as I do, doing the podcast and just meeting people.
So you've been here from Pennsylvania only 2 months?
Yeah,
Oh man, when I first came here, because I don't know about you, my town was so depressed that if you drove like a Honda Accord, you were a baller.
yo, for real.
You know what I mean? You were a baller. You know,
Yeah.
like if you were young and you drove a Honda Accord or better, you got pulled over and asked where the drugs were.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you know, so when I came here and I saw, you know, when I first came here, you know, after I graduated, I saw, you know, people driving Beamers like it's nothing. Benz is like nothing. Like Lexuses and Porsches and Bentleys. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I only see those in the magazines before, you know what I mean? And now, like, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and it's
You
like
know?
with us being surrounded around this kind of environment, you adapt to it.
Yes.
You know, because
Yes.
I mean, personally myself, you know, looking at these cars now compared to going back home and being like, yo, Nate, yo, Sam, man, yo, you gotta look at this Lamborghini. And I'm thinking, brother, I see all them all the time now out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, they always say, man, when you change your proximity, your mind expands.
Mm.
You know, that's why it's so important for you to in life to change your association, change your proximity. You can't be the big fish in a small pond. There's no way. They're not going to grow. So you got to be the little fish in the big pond. You know what I mean? And you know, when I came to America, I mean, America, that was definitely the small fish. When I came to California, I was a small fish. And you drove the neighborhood, man. You know, my house is nice, but it's not the nicest house in the neighborhood.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
I think it is, but no, I'm kidding.
There are some, you know, that the lady across the street,
Yeah.
you know, owns waste management in China. So the house, you see my house, her house is twice as big with an indoor swimming pool and all that kind of stuff. So it's always good to look, you know, and not be the biggest person around, because this way, you know, you're able to be around bigger people and expand.
That's
Yeah.
it's funny, bro. Whenever I was, because I didn't realize I had to go through a gate
Yeah.
to get in, and you know, the security guard, he's like, "Who you here for?" And I told him, you know, Sam and everything, and he's like, "What you doing here?" I'm like, "I'm here to do a podcast, sir." And then he gave me that thing for my car. I'm thinking, man, talk about the big leagues now, you know.
Yeah, man. You know, I always dreamt about stuff like this when I was growing up in Pennsylvania, and
Oh my
when I was
gosh.
growing up, I never thought it was possible. But you dream enough, and as long as you're willing to back up your dream with some hard work,
Mm.
it's gonna happen, man. You know, a lot of people dream, but they're allergic to work. You know, or they're allergic to being uncomfortable. Bro, I've learned that if you want to be successful in life, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm.
And to me now, when I'm comfortable, and I'm comfortable,
Yeah.
it's kind of like I drive my wife crazy. You know, like she's like, "Can you just sit down and just chill?" Like,
Yeah.
I can't just sit down and just chill. This is like torture. I need to work. I need to do something. I need to read a book. You feel me?
You can't just watch a movie.
Yeah, man, it's hard, man. You know what I mean? I don't mind going to a movie once in a while, but sitting down and watching football all day,
Mm.
Saturday, Sunday, I just can't do that, man. I just
Right.
can't do that. Like, I need to get shit done, man.
You just feel like just sitting on the couch and everything. Like it's like, man, I gotta have like the computer in front of me. I gotta be
Yeah.
doing calls or something. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm curious, Sam. You know, you mentioned that you had a passion for working out.
Hmm.
A lot of people, whenever they work out, they can't necessarily stand the pain that they go through. So, what made you so obsessed with the pain in working out and seeing the success that you've seen? You know.
So let me tell you something, Nate.
Mm.
They say for change to happen, it must meet this criteria. When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, change happens. Let me say it again. When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, that's when change happens. So let's just say, you want to maybe lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're 10, 15 pounds overweight. You know, it's no big deal. It's not really bothering you. So it's more comfortable being 10, 15 pounds heavier than go to the gym and try to, lose this 10, 15 pounds and get on a diet. And I'm cool. I don't need to do that. Now, let's just say you're 10, 15 pounds heavier and the girl of your dream doesn't go out with you because you're 10, 15 pounds heavier. She doesn't prefer that. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I'm making the scenario up.
Absolutely.
Obviously, that girl's shallow, but let's just make that scenario up. It's the real world, right?
Oh my gosh.
And now you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? Now, let me get in the gym because, I want to be there. So the pain of change is worth it. So change doesn't happen until pain happens.
Wow. That's powerful. You might want to replay that about 10 times to hear that, because
Yeah.
I feel as if a lot of people they think they don't have to go through any kind of pain to see change.
My pain was getting beat up. My pain was getting bullied. My pain was not having a soccer team in 1985. I was a star player in my country the whole time. Now I come to America, I'm fucking nobody. I guys come from the basketball team. Nobody knows me. Everybody ridiculed me. Everybody made fun of me. So the pain was there. The pain was there. I want to become accepted. I want to play sports. I want to be. So I hit the weights, and I remember when I first started lifting, man, I was so sore. I was dying, bro. I was dying. Like, nobody in my family ever worked out. I mean, none of them ever. And my whole family, aunts, uncles, cousins, nobody. You know what I mean? So I was the only black sheep of the family working out. I would come home so sore. Back in the day, I used to get a bunch of Bengay.
Okay.
You know, I would put Bengay all over me, but sweatshirt, and you know how a couple of times I forgot I had Bengay on my arms. I went to the bathroom, grabbed my genitals, all balls were burning, man. It was like, I've done it, man. It was painful, and now it's like now my body is like, if I don't have pain in the morning, I'm not 100%. So that's why I work out at 4 a.m.
Mm.
Because I got to go through adversity first thing in the morning
Yeah.
to set my day up for adversity. You know what I mean? I got to go to war with the weights before I go to war with people.
Oh, that's deep. You on that, like The Rock with his workout routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about the same age. We're about the same mentality, man. You know what I mean? He just has a few extra zeros in his bank account.
just a few. All right, I'll
You know
tell
what I'm
you that,
saying?
man.
The dude is my idol, man. Everybody should, look at him and work ethic. He's a family man. He's a top movie guy right now in the world. He went from WWE to movies. Now he's a top guy in that whole thing, man. He works out, family man, makes movies, makes shows. And he has for everything. If you look at his work ethic, you look at his work ethic, you know why he's worth so much money. He earns every cent of it.
For real. And the power of balance. I mean, because you think of somebody like that. I mean, even yourself, Sam. I mean, you got so much going on as it is. I mean, you got the team in there that, they're doing work for you. And like with the videos and the social media, and I'm just thinking, man, the balance to have that. So I guess for you personally, talking about balance, how do you tend to balance all that you do?
Well, let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
Balance is a myth.
Mm.
I would say, oh, balance, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody in a 24-hour period can have a balanced life. If you want to be average, be balanced. And what weight measure are we? Who's measuring balance? In what scale are we balancing things? Your scale, my scale, because everybody's balance is a little different. You know what I mean? I mean, so that's a whole different definition of what's your balance. Because what's your balance? Your balance might be, somebody who let's just say somebody out there who makes, 6 figures, is a different balance than somebody who makes 7 figures or 8 figures. You know what I mean? Your balance is totally different. People say, well, ideally you got to go to work for 8 hours, sleep for 8 hours, and activity for 8 hours. And that's what balanced life is. That's bullshit. Because some days I get 2 hours of sleep. Some days I get 12 hours of sleep. Some days I'm a perfect family man. And some days I fail at being a family man because I'm working all day long. Right? But overall, balance is something that's earned, not given. Let me tell you, let me give you something real quick. So let's just say you've been eating Del Taco, McDonald's, Wendy's, just junk, and haven't done anything but just sit in front of a computer and eat junk for the past 10 years, right? And then all of a sudden, you want to go to the gym every day for an hour. Oh my God, you need to be balanced. You're going to the gym every day for an hour? Oh my God. Like, are you kidding me? Like, what do you mean you got to be balanced? When you were unbalanced this way, when you were mediocre, when you weren't doing anything good for yourself, and nobody told you to be balanced. Right? Now you try to do something good for yourself. You're trying to achieve something. Now you go, you put some effort into something that's good for you. Oh no, you're doing it too much. Be balanced. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. That's average thinking. Balance is average thinking. Balance is somebody who doesn't want to achieve crap. Anybody knows that anybody who achieved greatness. Was Sam Walton balanced? No. Was Jeff Bezos balanced? No. Was Steve Jobs balanced? No. Is Mark Zuckerberg balanced? No. None of these people who achieved greatness were somebody where everything was in harmony. Fuck no.
Yeah, brother. It's funny you mentioned Sam Walton. I'm literally reading his biography right now.
He's badass, man.
Yeah. Like just what
the dude was a workhorse.
Gosh.
The dude was a workhorse.
Such a competitor too.
Yeah.
It's inspiring reading that, and I know, man, that's you guys just gotta again rewind the past 3-5 minutes and listen to what Sam was just Sam Walton. What I mean? Sam must be. I'm gonna name my kid Sam.
Yeah, we're talking about Sam and Rock and Sam Walton. I'm like, I just need to add more zeros to my background now. I'm inspired just by their names.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Sam, you mentioned a little bit about some nights you get 2 hours of sleep. Some nights you get 12 hours.
Yeah.
So, what time do you try to go to bed at night?
Well, usually if it's during the week, I get up at 3.
Okay.
So I know my body. 5 hours of sleep, I'm good.
Okay.
Any less than 5 hours of sleep in the middle of a day, I get lethargic.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So 6 hours, I'm perfect. 7 hours is like my vision is 3D.
Wow.
And 8 hours is just too much for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm actually a little more lethargic after that.
Okay.
So when you know your body, man, somebody said you need 8 hours. You need 8 hours. Who said that?
Mm.
Who said that? What scientific evidence is it proven that 8 hours of sleep, you need 8 hours of sleep? Who? I just want to know the research behind it, because I see people doing stuff. There's nothing wrong with them. I know people who've got 4 hours of sleep all their life. They live to be 100 years old.
Mm. That's deep.
To me, they say, Sam, what is your occupation? My occupation is I do whatever it takes. This is what I do. I'm not a gym owner. I'm not a supplement business owner. I just do whatever the fuck it takes for me to move my life forward. So if I need to I need to skip sleep one night, I will do it, and I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it. It's not that, crazy. So
That's deep. I'm curious your take on the millennial generation, especially with today's era, everything being through the phone, everything social media,
Yep.
the influencers, and everything like that. So let's talk about work ethic a little bit.
Yep.
Because I'm 23, Sam.
Yep.
I got people that they look at me and they're like, "Man, Nate, you're doing it, living out in Los Angeles, especially with where I'm from."
Yep.
But they're like 20 years old, 18 years old, people that are like the millennial generation, and I forget the generation under, but what's your advice to them for somebody that, they're growing up, they have the phones, or you see parents giving their kids, like, whenever they whine or they're crying, here's the phone, for them to kind of like just shut up.
Pacify them, right?
I love that, pacify them. So what advice would you give to the millennial generation on the amount of work that it takes?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people say the millennial generations, they don't have the work ethic. They're lazy and all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily agree with that. Because I see people like you. I see people like my crew. I see some young people that are absolutely fucking killing it. So I hate when people generalize. Oh, this kind of people are this way. This kind of people are this way. We're from the industrial age. Okay.
Yeah. Mm.
We're from the industrial age where you have to go to school to learn a specific skill, so you can go get a job with the company, General Motors, Chrysler, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, whatever thing it is. Work till you're 65, get a retirement, and die after a few years after that. That was your whole life if you've done good for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was back then. Today things have changed. We have 10-year-old kids, 6-year-old kids making millions of dollars on YouTube. We have people who are making. We have a a puppy making millions of dollars on Instagram. You know what I mean? So things have changed, and we have to change our mentality towards it. Now, what I see with a lot of millennials is that now they want to become overnight successes because it's possible. There's a slight possibility that you can become an overnight success with just the right thing. But what they don't understand, that just like back in the day, everybody was trying to be a pro basketball player, a pro football player, or pro baseball player. Only like 1 in a million can hit that. So your odds of being an overnight success and being an overnight Instagram or YouTube celebrity is not good. It's not that good.
Right.
Okay, so I don't mind somebody working towards what they want, but they also have to have another plan to be able to execute, and not trying to just get up at if you don't have nothing, you don't have a place to stay, you're living out of your car, or you're living with your mama, you're 25 years old, and you're not making any money, but yet you want to make content. Well, you got your priorities fucked up.
Yeah, that's deep. And to attest to that, same as well, I sometimes feel as if people want success. They want to live the influencer life, the celebrity life. But if you told them, hey, you got to sleep on like the floor for X amount of months, weeks, years, they wouldn't do it.
Well, look, man, this is one of my favorite things from Eric Thomas.
Oh my
That,
gosh.
Eric Thomas said they want my shine, but they don't want my grind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when they see this, they see the mansion, they see the cars, they see the lifestyle right now. What they don't see,
Mm.
what they don't see, is the failed marriage. What they don't see is the bankruptcy. What they don't see is the house being foreclosed on. What they don't see, me having panic attacks and having to go to hospital because I was stressed out. What they don't see is the ulcer. What they don't see is sleepless nights. What they don't see is getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning for the past 25 years. What they don't see is lifting heavy ass weights every day for the past 32 years. They don't see all that, but they just see the Lambo, they see the Ferrari, they see the pool, and then they're like, oh, I want to be there. What do you have to do to get there?
Mm.
Now I took the hard way. It's going to be easier. Not everybody has to go through all the shit that I went through in life. That was just my journey. But understand that for you to be able to go somewhere, you have to go through some discomfort. It's not going to happen on your fucking couch.
Mm. And if you were put in Sam's shoes, for example, let's just talk about, the cars and the house. Would you know how to handle that? The financial aspect. Like, would the people know how to handle that? And that's something that you can talk about as well. It's funny. It's funny you mentioned Eric Thomas. He was actually my first mentor.
Yeah.
When it came, 16 years old. Big moment in my life. My parents got divorced, and instead of going to junk food, drugs, or alcohol, I went to ET.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
And I was able to form like a personal relationship with him at a young age back in Pennsylvania. And having one of the top motivational speakers in your corner, I mean, that's powerful.
He's a badass, man. He's a badass. I love E.T. I shared a stage with him once, and we have mutual respect for each other.
Yeah, it's literally when he walks in the room, it's like, just the presence.
It's crazy. We think alike too, because once I launched my 1% life supplements.
Yeah.
That he came out with a 1% club.
Exactly.
I'm like this. I'm like, what? I was like reading it was like the weirdest thing. Like I don't know who came out with what first. I think actually I was first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know, but I know it wasn't a copy. I know he didn't copy me, and I know I didn't copy him. But it was just like later they're like, did you know ET has a 1% club? I'm like, what? I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the same way. And a lot of people, when you say 1%, 1%, they get their butt, they hurt. They're like, oh, what do you think? You're 1%, you're better than us. And no, it has nothing to do with better. Because I came here, I didn't have shit. Yeah. I'm a 1% because I worked my fucking ass for it. And I took risks. I worked hard. I stumbled. I got knocked down, but I got back up. So if I came here, with all the disadvantages you can possibly have, single mom, $500, ghetto, didn't know the language, had no friends, got ridiculed, bullied, beat up, whatever you want to. If I can do it, then there's no fucking excuse for somebody who's born and raised right here with all the stuff available to them not be able to do it. Mm-hmm. So if you're offended by becoming a 1%er and you just want to be an average, then that's you. Be average. I didn't come to be average. God didn't make me to be average. God has made me to be great. God has made me to be the best person that I can possibly become before I die.
Wow. Mic drop there, my brother. That was powerful. Holy cow. When all the odds are against you, and if people ain't got that many odds, it's kind of tough to have that desire.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe it's because people don't have that many odds.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling you every, beginning, I go, you know what, man? I mean, I love trauma. Yeah. I love trauma. I learned to fucking love it. Wow. I learned to love it. Have you, I've talked about this in other podcasts before. Mm-hmm. I equate it to this. Have you ever seen an MMA fighter or a boxer who gets straight punched in the face? Straight up. And what they do, they shake it off and they laugh. They're like, good one. Good one. Yeah. You know why? Because they got punched so many times that that's one little punch they know is a part of the fucking game. Mm. It's part of the thing. If you're a boxer and you're an MMA fighter, you get punched in the face, you can't be mad. Right. You signed up for this shit.
It's true.
You signed up. You can't be mad at the guy for punch. You signed up to get punched in the face. Well, guess what? If you're here in life, you can't be mad adversities. You can't get mad at trials and tribulations. It's part of fucking life. So as long as you get used to it, you understand that the reason you're going through something right now is because God wants to know if you're worthy of his blessing afterward. Because if you don't have faith, you don't follow through, you're going to fall down, then God's not going to bless you.
Wow, that's deep.
It's not. If God's going to give you something for you to go through, there's a reason for it. And if you're telling me you're a Christian, you have faith, you believe in God, and this and that, then you have to believe that. You can't be sitting home depressed, fucking watching watching Oprah and eating bonbons. Get the fuck up. You ain't the only one going through it. I always tell people, I guarantee you, whatever you're fucking going through right now, there is somebody who will give their left leg to be in your shoes.
Wow.
I don't care what the fuck it is that you're going through.
That's so true. You got people that are speaking on stage and they ain't even got limbs. That's real, bro.
When somebody says, "Oh man, I got it," you know what? Yeah, we all go through shit.
Yeah.
We all experience trauma. I'm not minimizing anybody's thing. But when you look at the bigger picture, man, look at the bigger picture, man. There's somebody out there that will give whatever it is to be you.
That's straight up. Who's been one of your biggest mentors in your life, Sam?
The guy that I would say I look up to the most when it comes to this whole personal development space, it's got to be Anthony Robbins, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the dude just studied stuff. He's not an overnight. He was the man before the internet.
For real. Yeah.
He was the man. I mean, it's easy to become successful right now with the internet and the masses and all that. He was the man before the internet. I remember when I came to America, right after I got off of work, I went right to work. I came home, to my uncle's house. He had that little duplex. I see Tony Robbins on infomercials.
Yeah.
I was 11 years old. The dude has been a beast. And if you ever go to any of his events, the dude is a fucking beast. He goes till 10 o'clock, like 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. The dude doesn't even pee, doesn't go to the bathroom. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I have to go to pee 12 times and you guys still on stage. So the guy is just an absolute, like wonder of the world, man. So he knows his stuff. I think Tony has been the most influential in my life.
He's such a great man. I had his son on the show a good many months back, Jarek. Looks just like Tony. It's so funny how they take after each other. Sounds just like him too. And then something else I was curious about. What's one book that's impacted your life in a very major way?
Gosh, man,
you got tons of books, bro.
Yeah, one book. If I take one book. It has to be one of my top books. Or Start With Why by Simon Sinek. I think, because a lot of times in life, when we're trying to do something, we want to know the how. We want to know the technical part of it. But all that technical part doesn't mean anything if you don't know the why, the real reason. So, you have to find your why. Why you're doing whatever you're doing. And I always tell people, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not your why. Your why needs to make you cry. So you haven't found your why. You say, well, yeah, you know what? My why is, I want to get a Rari, and I want it to be red, and then I want to go on vacations, and no, that ain't. That's the technical part. What I need to do, man. No, your why, your deep rooted why you do, why you want what you want, why you do what you do. And once you really, be straight with yourself, do some soul searching and really understand what the fuck it is that your why you want to do what you want to do, then the how becomes easy.
It's true.
If you find out the deep desire within you, you're going to find a way. The how is easy.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing it on a surface level, it's not going to do it.
Wow.
It's not going to do it.
Now, I'm curious to talk about the why on a little deeper scale, because I'm sure early on, your why might be a little bit different compared to what it is now.
Early on, I didn't know what my why was.
Okay.
Not everybody knows your why. People, I know no, you don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My why, I didn't even know what my why was early on. Early on, I just wanted to become rich. Yeah. I want to have money. I want to have the Rari. I want to have the Lambo. I want to have this. None of that shit matters to me now. I got it all, and now I'm like, it's all right. You know,
It's normal now.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like cool, whatever. You know what I mean?
That
It's like
makes
if I don't have it, I don't even care. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, you know, my why, you know, became really apparent when I had children. You know, my why became very apparent for me. You know, I went from being the most selfish, self-centered asshole in the world to like awesome Papa Bear that didn't care about nothing else. You know, I was the only child. I'm from fucking Sharon, Pennsylvania. I'm from the hood,
Yeah.
right? I'm from the hood, right? You know, I come in
Absolutely.
here, you know, at 20, you know, at 26, 27, I start my business. I'm making 10, 20 grand a month, you know, and dude, Sharon, Pennsylvania, they make 10, 20 grand a month a year. 10, 20 a year. That's their average household income. I think it's like $18,000. You know what I mean? So I was making 20, you know, 10 to 20 grand a month. You couldn't tell me anything. I'm from Sharon. So I was
Yeah.
out there, you know, single, you know, blowing money, going to the club, acting all crazy, you know, and just, you know, being bodybuilding, which is a selfish sport. You know, when you work out, when you eat, when you tan, you know what I mean? You know, so all that crap. To all of a sudden, when I saw the ultrasound for the first time on my first kid, you know, I was like, I broke down, and I was like, man, I don't want to be that deadbeat dad that I had. I don't want to become that dad that was never there for any of my practices. I don't want to be that dad that wasn't able to provide for me. I don't want my kids to go to people's Christmas parties and say, "Oh, how come we don't have a house or we don't get the same presents as they do? How come their dad is here? How come their dad protects them?" I didn't want to do that, man. I didn't want to do that. So my you know why right there started right there and then.
Wow.
You know, and
Yeah.
it was always within me, but because I had that chip on my shoulder not having a dad. But when it was for real, see the ultrasound.
Yeah.
I mean, when at first I saw the ultrasound on my Bailey Rose, which she's 10 now, I literally went and sold both my motorcycles, signed up for life insurance, and everything. So you know, so it became Papa Bear really overnight.
Man, that's
Yeah,
incredible. And that's the thing, like with the why, like it's such a major thing, and
we
we
got
got
we got a little
another
visitor.
special guest
We got a
coming.
little special guest on the podcast. See, this is my why.
Hey,
This is my why.
dude, talk about perfect timing.
This is my why. You know, she just walked in. It's a perfect timing. This is my pride and joy.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is one of my 3 children. You know, my
Adorable.
newest one, my pride and joy.
Yeah.
Is something that you know, he didn't ask to be here. I brought him in this world. So guess what? It's my duty, my obligation, to make sure that this little one has the life that he deserves. You know what I mean? So that's if this, like I said, if your why doesn't make you cry, your why is not strong enough. You know, these are my children.
Wow. Dude, that's
Lamborghini doesn't matter. Ferrari doesn't matter. This mansion doesn't matter. For me, the love that matters that we have in the family. None of that matters.
You got a brother having goosebumps over
Yeah.
here, Sam. I'm gonna be real. Holy smokes.
Yeah. You want them?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's amazing. I appreciate you doing that. Man. Mm. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, my goodness. And again, to attest to the why, find out what your why is. Take some time. You know, go on. You know, go into a room in complete darkness and silence, and figure out what your why is.
Yeah.
Right. Don't focus on Sam's why, because
Yeah.
that's going to be different than your why.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be different.
Don't get
You have
confused.
to find. Yeah. You have to find that. And I think at a certain point in your life, you got to have a chip on your shoulder about something, and use that chip to not to victimize yourself. Use that chip to like catapult yourself to the next level. You know, use that as fuel. You know what I mean? Use it as fuel.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, I want to be very respectful of your time, of course.
Yeah, sorry about that. Family just came
No,
in.
no.
It's all good, man.
No,
but
that
hey,
was-
but that's made the podcast real, man. This is reality, man. And to me, like I said, man, they're the most important thing in my life. You know, they're my why. They're the most important thing. You know, and like I said, if you guys are listening to this, you know, do some soul searching. You can't find your why right now. It takes time. It takes for you to ask some serious questions to yourself. You know, your why is what's going to make you get up early in the morning, and your why is what's going to keep you late at night. When you don't feel like doing something, when you're having a bad day, your why is going to keep you going. When you have, when there's, you get knocked down in life, your why is going to get you back up. But if you don't have the right why, you're going to get knocked down. You're not going to get back up. So you have to have that burning desire, to, you know, it has to be something a lot greater than yourself. It can't be, oh, because I want to be rich, or I want a Lambo, or I want a pool, or I want to. You know, it has to be a lot deeper than that. If it's not deep, it's not gonna work.
And there's two key words: burning desire.
Yeah.
Burning desire. That's powerful.
Yeah.
Sam, where can the audience, where can the viewers and the listeners
Yeah,
find you?
you can just Google my name, Sam Bakhtiar, SAMBAKHTIAR. My Instagram is the same. My website is the same. All my handles are pretty much the same.
Okay. And are you working on anything that you would like the viewers and listeners to know?
I'm always working on something, man. I'm always working on something. So right now, I'm working on a platform to be able to coach masses. So I'm building a whole coaching business when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to business, and when it comes to helping people just achieve, their higher self. You know, I know that physically, for me, the start was the physical part, and I know if I can get people first physically right, everything else in their life will start transforming, and I can help them in other areas as well. But if they don't feel well about themselves, they don't have the self-confidence, they're lethargic, they're not taking care of themselves, you can't help somebody else. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. That makes complete sense. And I'm going to attach all the links in the description below. Okay, just hit that little link to Sam's socials, give him a follow, and as always, Sam, I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank
you
you so much.
Yep, you got it.